Sean, you look ready for talking about your car.
Yes.
So if we can hear ourselves above the sound of
Okay.
what's this, a Spitfire up there, is it?
Let's take a dive here.
Yeah, look at that. Right, but more exclusively, certainly Porsche 928.
Absolutely.
So you're from Ireland,
Correct,
you're living in the UK,
in the UK,
and you present us this gorgeous left-hand drive 928. Now, looking at it from ignorance, I'm thinking this is a German car, but that's not the case. Tell me the story behind your car.
It was exported as a new car to Japan, and its serial number I think is 375, which would be April 1987. So, which gives an indication of.
We've got these Spitfires up at the Duxford Wheels and Planes Day. We're up here in July 2014. Stunning sunshine, and happy to talk Porsches, but we've got these damn airplanes behind us. So, and you've had the car for some time, I understand.
Since 2005.
Yeah.
9 years now.
Was it your first Porsche or your first 928?
First Porsche, yes.
Yeah.
First 928.
And what was the appeal for you in terms of the 928?
I was looking for a 928 mainly because my interest in 928 I think came from the fact that it was a very well engineered car.
Yep.
I had researched quite a number of other cars, like the 911 series, but they're quite sporty. But this was a car which Porsche developed from square one. They had no precedence.
And this is a very early 87 version of an S4, which of course they evolved over the years. But this is a very clean looking car. I'm thinking this is like chocolate, but it's not. What colour actually is it?
It's a moss green metallic.
Right.
It was a special colour in that year.
But you said on the logbook it says?
It was interpreted as grey.
Grey, okay.
When it came into England.
Now, if we quickly look inside, the steering wheel is a bit different, isn't it? I seem to recall. Is there some differences, are there, here?
No, it's quite standard.
What about this little chappy here?
That's a little sticker which I don't really know if
Oh,
it's
right.
standard or otherwise. It's to do with the speed control.
Showing maintenance there.
Absolutely, mine as well.
And in terms of your ownership of the car, what would you say has been the highlights and the lowlights?
Have had no serious lowlights on it. I think it's been a well-maintained car. It came in to me at 38,000 kilometres. I've done about 40,000 kilometres since then. It's taken quite long trips to Spain a few times, and I've had trouble-free operations.
I suppose the big question is, does the air conditioning actually work?
The air conditioning did work.
Yeah.
It's now being reconstructed.
That's true. So, of course, we were talking about off the camera the rear treatment, and sometimes the Japanese have got a different treatment with the fog lights. Has yours got a different?
Yeah, it seemed it didn't have a fog light, but for its first registration in the UK, they fitted a fog light.
They did,
which is positioned to match the exhaust
right,
system.
Yeah, so kind of retrofit, but nonetheless exactly where it should be.
Yes.
Yeah. So if there's one piece of advice that you pass on to anybody that's looking at buying a 928, particularly an S4, indeed any other model designation, what would that be?
I think the advice which I got at the time from a friend who was also had experience in the motor trade is that buy the best one you can find. Don't necessarily buy a project, so take up a lot of your time, but buy as good a one as you can possibly find.
And do you run this as a daily car, or have you got something else that you...
No, this is purely for events like this.
Yes.
Little touring and shows and
yes,
essentially some trials.
And any optional extras on this car, because they all tend to be, by the time we get into the S4s, most of them are they are unique. There's very rarely do you find two that are identical. So what have you got on this car?
I think it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
I did one thing to it. I put in spacers in the rear wheels, 18mm spacers, which brings the wheel more into line of the body.
Yeah.
And that is a standard option which is on the GTs. So essentially it looks like a GT from outside. But there are
it's a very pretty car. Sean, thank you very much. We're just going to take the camera around, just drool over your car a little bit.
Yeah, do please, yeah.
Are you in a situation where you can actually start her up? Can we hear
Of
her?
course, yeah, absolutely.
Because I think it's always nice to hear the engine notes. So I'll creep around the back, you start her up, yeah?
Okay.
Fabulous. That's that fog light he was talking about. Lovely car.